My name's Scott Wallace, and my parents have owned the boat since 1979. And I grew up water skiing behind it, and it worked great as a preteen. But as I grew in size, became a high schooler, the boat kind of just had trouble keeping up with the skiing. And my dad was kind of a horsepower enthusiast, and not having enough horsepower was not an option. So they originally had a inline four-cylinder, roughly 122 horse, I think is what it was. And he had a small block Chevy V8 sitting in the garage, and he felt confident that V8 would bolt right in there. So that winter, he pulled the boat out, and that same day, the motor came out, and the new motor started going back in. And so from there on out, we've had the V8 into it, and it's been a wild ride ever since then. So going out, tearing up the lakes, having fun, finding races. Roughly in the late 80s, he parked it beside his house and covered it up really well. But that winter, he started getting going downhill on health. And the boat sat beside the house for roughly 25 to 30 years. And trees grew up around it, and you could barely even see that there was a boat in there. And roughly about 7 years ago, their health took even more of a turn, and they had to sell the house and move into assisted living. And while we were moving stuff out, my dad asked me, he goes, will you cut those trees off away from that boat and haul that to the dump? And so I spent the day cutting the trees down, and tires were rotted and out of air, and got that all situated. And by the time I got to the dump with it, the gates were closed, and the dump was closed. So I turned around, took it back to the house, and my brother was with me, and he came up with the idea. He goes, well, let's uncover it and just see if there's anything worthy of saving on the boat. And we uncovered it, and we were very pleased to see that actually my dad had started the restoration, and the paint job that you see on it is actually the paint job that he had done in roughly the late 80s. And I was able to buff that out, get that good, looking good. And
that's amazing that they were closed. That's a miracle.
That saved the boat.
1966.
And, roughly, I took about 7 years working onto it. Got it to this state just recently, and made a trip back to northern Michigan with it. Took my daughter and son, and we went back, and we took my dad for a ride in it.
That is awesome.
And
that's an awesome story, man.
He was on cloud 9 riding it, and I have to say I was too.
That is awesome. So yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. That's an amazing story there. It's a great looking boat too. I mean, like you said, I mean you've had it your whole life, been around it. It's got way more memories than probably anybody could even worth any kind of money or anything like that.
Would you like to hear it run?
Oh yeah, I would love to. That would be awesome.
I gotta go get the keys though.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Be right back.
Yeah. How fun!